Hello, you're welcome to another interesting class on social studies. My name is Vanessa Hart. The topic for today's class is positive group behaviors in the theme cultural and social values. By the end of this class, you should be able to explain the meaning of group behavior. You should also be able to identify the types of group behavior. Also, you should be able to state the characteristics of the different types of group behavior. And finally, you should be able to mention the benefits of positive group behavior. Every individual has a personality which is unique to them. You see that a person's reaction or action over a particular situation will always be different from another person's action or reaction over the same situation. Some people act differently when they are alone, which is however different from how they would have acted when they are in a group. For instance, a person may seem quiet in the midst of strangers, but outspoken when among a group of friends. This attitude is however influenced by the activities of the group. Now let's move on to look at what group behavior is. Before we go into the meaning of group behavior, two terms are worthy of definition to fully understand the term group behavior. One is group and the other behavior. What is a group? A group can be defined as a collective number of people who have a common goal or purpose, whereas behavior can be defined as the way or manner in which people conduct themselves. Hence, group behavior is defined as the way and manner a number of people act or conduct themselves when they come together. It is however known as a collective action. Now let's move on to the types of group behavior. There are basically two types of group behavior. Number one, mass action, and two, communal labor or services. Now let's move on to look at these two types of group behavior in detail. Mass action. Mass action refers to a situation whereby a large number of persons come together as a group at an agreed time and place in order to express their grievances or support so as to influence a social change. Mass actions can either be violent or non-violent. Violent mass actions include destruction of lives and properties, riots and fights, whereas non-violent mass actions include protests or peaceful strikes. Now let's move on to the next type of group behavior, which is communal labor and services. Communal labor refers to a situation whereby a large number of persons come together as a group in order to carry out non-paying tasks for the common good of a community and its residents. Some examples of communal labor or services include cutting grasses, cleaning markets and gutters, providing health centers or pipe-borne waters for the residents, etc. However, these types of group behavior also have different characteristics. Now let's move on to look at the different characteristics of the types of group behavior. The two types of group behavior we looked at both have similar and dissimilar characteristics. These include 1. Active participation. Active participation is a common characteristic found in both types of group behavior. For instance, in mass action, you see people come out in mass with their placards in order to pass the message to influence a social change. Also, in communal labor or services, you see people come out together. If they want to clean a market or cut grasses, they come together, do it quickly in order to achieve their purpose. Next, we have cooperation. Cooperation is a common characteristic found in both types of group behavior. We find out that in both types of group behavior, people cooperate in order to achieve their common goal or purpose. Next characteristics we'll be looking at is constructive and destructive actions. Mass actions can either be positive or negative, that is constructive or destructive, whereas communal labor or services are usually positive, that is constructive, because they are usually for the benefit of the community and its residents. Lastly, we'll be looking at planned and unplanned actions. Mass actions are usually unplanned and immediate in order to influence a social change. For instance, riots, whereas Communal services are usually planned in advance. For instance, building a health center is a project which requires planning. Now, let's move on to the benefits of positive group behavior. It is important to note that there are no benefits of negative group behavior because they usually lead to loss of lives and properties. But there are benefits of positive group behavior, which include 1. Security and survival. When people show positive group behavior, there are little or no incidents of loss of lives and properties. Also, the community or society is safe for everyone to live in when people act positively. Now let's move on to the next benefit of positive group behavior, which is achievement. Working as a group helps people to achieve more than what they would have ordinarily achieved if they worked individually. Now let's move on to another benefit of positive group behavior, which is peace and unity. Positive group behavior helps people to work together in unity irrespective of their differences. This enhances peace and unity in the society. Next, we'll be looking at another benefit of positive group behavior, which is awareness and liberation from oppression. The activities of some persons who exhibit positive group behavior helps to educate citizens on their rights, which liberates them from every kind of oppression. Let's move on to the last benefit of positive group behavior, which is affiliation and status. When people demonstrate positive group behavior, it earns them a good name and status in society. Sometimes they earn some awards for their good deeds. We have now come to the end of this class. But before we go, let's take a quick summary on what we have learned so far. We learned that a group can be defined as a number of people who share a common goal or purpose. Also, we learned about behavior, and we said that behavior refers to the way and manner in which people act or conduct themselves. We moved on to talk about group behavior, which we defined as the way and manner a number of people act or conduct themselves when they come together. Next, we learned that there are two basic types of group behavior, which are mass action and communal labor or services. Then we went on to see the characteristics of group behavior, which include active participation, constructive and destructive actions, and cooperation. Finally, we looked at the benefits of positive group behavior, which include achievement, peace and unity, and affiliation and status. Now, let's move on to our test session to test our knowledge on what we have learned so far. Question 1. Dash is the way and manner a number of people act or conduct themselves when they come together. A. Group. B. Behavior. Or C. Group behavior. The correct answer is C. Group behavior. Question 2. Which of these is not a type of group behavior? A. Mass action. B. Affiliation and status. Or C. Communal labor. The correct answer is B. Affiliation and status. This will be all for now. I'm sure by now you know the meaning of group behavior, the types and characteristics of group behavior, and the benefits of positive group behavior. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.